first review the UMP test. So we already covered it in last class, but we'll continue. We'll just review. So the uniformly means that we uniform level alpha test. So it should be a level alpha test, and then it should be most powerful in the sense that it's power, right? This is the power. Test power is greater than any other for any other level alpha, right? Test. So any other test for all uniformly. So this is the among the alternative hypothesis. We want the test power to be greater than the other level alpha test. So that is the UMP test. Now the problem with the UMP test is that it does not always exist. So this is an example. So for two-sided hypothesis, we may not get the UMP test. Let's see why. So how to find the UMP test? Usually the starting point is to fix one value in the alternative hypothesis and see whether the critical region it does not depend on zeta 1. So that is the usual step, but it turns out that in our case, our critical region depends on zeta 1. So that is the main point. So because the MP test, because the critical region for the MP test for this particular zeta 1 depends on zeta 1, it's not UMP test. Well, so the basic algebra is you can just check that this one is minus zeta 1 nx bar plus 2 over n zeta 1 square. So if you want to make this relationship, it really depends on the sign, right? Whether it's a positive or negative, it make a difference. So that is why we get this critical region that depends on zeta 1. All right. So the UMP test is not always achieved. So then how to handle this problem? The first solution is, so what is the UMP level alpha among the class of UMP, right? I mean among the class of level alpha. So level alpha. So among the class of level alpha, we want to find the best one. Well, that means this class is too large. So we cannot really find the uniformly best one. So why don't we reduce the class, more reasonable one, and the reasonable assumption is one such assumption is level alpha plus unbiasedness. So what is the unbiasedness? We'll see in the next page. Well, another solution is, well, finding optimality is quite difficult. So we just want to get some reasonable solution just using likelihood ratio test. So this is another option. Okay. So this is the definition of the unbiasedness. So what do you mean by unbiased? Well, first it should be a level alpha test. So that means under the null hypothesis, right? Under the null hypothesis, its size is less than or equal to the significance level alpha. So that is the usual thing. And second part is interesting. So second part is power at the alternative hypothesis should be better than the power of the trivial test. What is a trivial test? So let's consider a trivial test. Reject with property alpha. Okay, so that means we don't actually use any observation, just do randomly reject. then the probability of the, right? So this one is, so the power is also alpha. Power over this the trivial test is alpha, and so we want our test to be at least better than the power of the trivial test. So that is the meaning of the unbiasedness. Okay. So for the previous example, right? The previous example is what? The theta equals 0 versus. Okay. So let's suppose for this one. Suppose, well, if theta for this one, right? If I consider this particular alternative hypothesis, we got this critical region, right? So basically, we just put all the. So this is basically this is the density function of this random variable. Okay, this random variable is variance is normal 0, 1. I mean, actually, theta, right? Depends on which theta. But under the null hypothesis, this is 0, 0, 1. So this is our test. And question is it unbiased? Turns out that unbiased for this particular hypothesis. Well, actually the answer is no, because if my true, so if the theta 1, right, theta 1 is here, so theta 1 is here, then what? Then right? So this is power. So my power is, so the, right, this is the basically this area is the probability of C1 at theta, where theta is theta 1. Okay, so this power is less than alpha. So that means if theta 1 is positive, it is power is high, right? If theta 1 is high, of course, theta 1 is positive, then we have large power, large test power. But the problem is if the theta 1 is actually negative, then our power is even smaller than the power of the trivial test. So we cannot really use it for the for this two-sided test. So basically that is the point. Same story here. So this unbiasedness condition is a reasonable condition that that we want to find. So UMP. So if Ump test is most powerful among the class of unbiased level alpha test, it is called UMP-U level alpha test.